Welcome to the Infinite Dance. I'm your host, Carrie Arata, Akashic Records reader, psychic sleuth, and spiritual guide. So today I have a special guided meditation as part of this, or pretty much this whole episode. It's aligning with the Lionsgate energy that we had yesterday. And by the way, I meant to have this recorded yesterday, but I was having technical difficulties. And I usually record on Audacity, and I couldn't get it to pick up my mic. So I went to the Anchor recording, which only gives me half of an hour. And I did record, but of course it cut me off. So I stepped away and thought, I'll just come back this morning. And so here we are. And everything's working fine. And I've got a quieter house. Besides the technical difficulties, my cat was meowing the whole time. And then I could hear my mom in the background saying, shh, shh, come over here. So here we are on the 9th. So today's Monday, and you're getting this podcast episode a day early from the normal podcast, but a day later than my intention. So, and today's guided meditation is also a fundraiser for the victims of the Dixie Fire in Greenville, California. For those that don't know, it's a Northern California town that was completely demolished by this Dixie Fire that's still raging. It's about 21% contained, and it's ravaged over 400,000 acres. And the surrounding towns are either evacuated or, they don't have their normal functions of their electricity and etc. So anything you do donate, I am actually giving to the Dixie Fire. So I'm making the first donation on the 13th. And then anything that comes in after from this Lionsgate meditation, I'm just gonna give the whole thing to the folks that are trying to get everything back together and probably in massive shock right now. I could only imagine losing everything to something, we have no control over. So I will include my Venmo and PayPal in the links below wherever you are listening to the podcast. It should show up for you. So this Lionsgate, so 88, right? Just a little background, is when the star Sirius aligns with Earth. And there's been some debate over its alignment and who it affects. And, the sun and the moon, when we have like the eclipses, when we have the eclipses, even if it's not right above our place in Earth, we're all still feeling the effects of those eclipses. And so anything like that happens in the sky, I feel like it's going to, to our planet, right? It's going to affect us all. And so you can always harness and hone these energies. And 8's an infinite number. And because there's the two of them, that's where they got the gate, right? But these are always live channeled, and it is live channeled. But because I recorded yesterday the meditation, I do have a little bit of an idea of where they're taking us. So it's kind of like, to not necessarily see it as a structure or something that is rigid. It's not a rigid thing. Okay, it's definitely an access. It's an access. And I'll get to that in a minute. I am dubbing this particular 8-8 meditation, meeting of the mind, heart, how we set our pace and tempo for our day to day. So that's really important in coming through. How do we interact with our own, pace of what we're giving ourselves to work around, and what's important? Do you need an extra hour of sleep in the morning, as opposed to working out on a particular day? Is it more important to have a walk after work instead of, and in eating maybe a green smoothie or something like that, right? Really kind of like going, what's going to feed my soul the best right now? What's going to give me that pace of, and I keep hearing for me, somewhere between reclining cat and sloth, and I keep laughing. But, this idea of just slow down, just slow down. Even though we could think so much, like we think so much, and there's so much that can go throughout our brain, and it doesn't all have to happen at once, right? There's a time and a place for it all. But it's interesting going to sleep last night and then waking up, like, because I woke up in the middle of the night and then fell back asleep. I started to like choreograph dances again. I used to dance all the time and be a dance instructor. And so I was choreographing and writing in my head, so I write anyways a lot, but things were just like kind of pouring out, which was cool. So there was a lot of things that had been in my head as ideas, or maybe something I wanted to get back to, like dance, and kind of having this, all right, here's a whole choreography for you to work with, if you choose to move again in this way. So I thought that was cool to interact with, seeing my thoughts and my ideas kind of have this place of, yeah, let's see it come to fruition, because it's time. It is time. Being aware that you have support at all times. So this is coming through in these meditations. And know you're in charge of your strength. Isn't that a good one? That came through. You're perfect just as you are. We need that reminder over and over again. And thank goodness for amazing friends, family, colleagues who will remind us, no, you're doing great, or no, that thing that you think is a flaw, I actually kind of like, right? So it's nice to hear that from others. A glimpse of how our souls perceive what's going on in the world and with the collective, okay? So we're going to see kind of the core of how we're interpreting everything, okay? We know literally what's going on. I know there's a fire. So many states and places around the world, are experiencing fires and the smoke that comes with it. So we know the literal. So it won't be the literal. It'll be, okay, what's kind of the base of this coming through? And re-looking at, I hear this a lot with this particular date, 8/8, the Lion's Gate. I hear portal a lot, and I've used that term quite a bit, portal. But I have been guided to not use it so much, and to use access instead. And so, of course, I'm like digging around. Why am I being guided to this? I do know that a portal is something that has, when when I work around it with clients, it is usually something that has maybe a negative connotation around it. And so, or not a negative connotation, but a lower frequency energetic nature to have it attached to Earth. So, how do we maybe not have the lower frequency there to have access? Okay, so this is how I start to dig. And then I also just and I went in my post on Facebook, so on the Infinite Dance page, I put for funsies or realsies, you make the choice. You make the choice. I understand if you're saying portal, that you're not meaning, oh, this, terrible thing, right? But for me, because I use it a lot and I interact with these energies a lot, but the definition, if you Google portal, is a doorway, gate, or other entrance. Okay, that makes sense. The second part is what got me, especially a large and imposing one. And I thought, okay, well, do we need to have it be imposing in order to receive these energies, teachings? So looking at it as this access and a rising of your own frequency to meet, right? To meet up to these teachings and these energies that can help guide us on this part of our journey. So just play with that. See how that works for you. But I always see myself as rising to meet my guides, to meet the Ascended Masters, to meet the Archangels. Of course, they're always around us, but to get that clarity, right? To get the clarity of what I'm trying to receive from them, the assistance, the help, I'm rising myself, right? I'm getting still, I'm getting clear, and raising, my frequency so I can meet them. Because it's a little harder for a higher frequency energy being to lower. All right. It's easier for somebody who is of a lower frequency to then clear their energy aura, etc., and to rise. Okay, just a couple things to keep in mind. Excuse me, we have quite a few archangels coming through in this guided meditation, as well as some ascended masters. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this Akashic guided meditation for the Lion's Gate energy. And it is live channeled. So meaning I am receiving what's coming in today. Okay. And again, this is a fundraiser for the victims of the Dixie Fire in Greenville, California. So first, go ahead and get nice and grounded in your space, whether you're laying down or sitting. Be comfortable. Probably be here for, I'm hearing, about 10 to 15, more like 15 minutes. So make sure you're nice and comfortable. And start by taking some nice, consistent breaths in lower abdominals to get grounded in your space. So the area below your belly button, on your inhales, go ahead and fill that area up. And on the exhales, release it out. And inhale into those lower abdominals. And exhale it out. And breathe into lower abdominals. And exhale it out. And on this next round of breath work, we're going to get into lion's breath. We're going to breathe into our nostrils and out through our mouth. And when you breathe out through your mouth, you're going to open your mouth as wide as you can, stick your tongue out, and let a little sound come out. Okay, so we're really kind of releasing what is not needed. And embracing, we're going to embrace our strength and embrace our fire, right? Our passions that are going to get us to that next area, to accept what we need in our lives and ourselves to get to where we want to be. So releasing that which is not serving. So go ahead and take a nice deep breath in through the nostrils and exhale through the mouth. Open your mouth wide, let it all out, tongue out. And go ahead, breathe in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth, open up wide. And breathe in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth, open wide, stick your tongue out. Notice how different your whole face feels. Notice how your energy feels. So right away, we are receiving guidance from Archangels Chamuel, Ariel, and Raphael. Chamuel helps us with anything related to the heart. Ariel assists us with our inner and outer environments, and she always appears, or a lot of times appears as a lion or with her lions. And Archangel Raphael is going to help with all the healings that we are having happen and go on. And right away, I'm seeing a big golden light in the distance. And Archangel Raphael is guiding with this, and Ariel as the lion, as a male lion. And we're seeing the male lion like he's in front of us. So we're seeing the back of his mane and the back of his back. And as you look out, you see it's an semicircle, and it's a gate, and it's huge, right? And it's a gate with wrought iron. And as we're looking at it with this beautiful golden light surrounding it, it does dissipate, so it crumbles, but the light still remains. And it expands. So once that gate crumbles, the light expands, and it is all around. So we are surrounded by golden creator substance light, healing light, that has no boundaries. It is infinite. And that male lion comes and sits at your feet, and looks up at you, and he's looking on and assisting with the integration of this golden light. And we are going to receive it into every cell of our being, starting with our toes. So it's coming up through our feet, and I'm seeing it swirl, and also it looks like little beads of light. So I think some of you are going to relate more to the swirl, and some will relate more to the beads of light coming into your cells. Okay, so we're getting that cellular change, that cellular activation. So it's coming up through the feet, the calves, the kneecaps, the thighs, the place where your torso meets your thighs. It's a really great place where lymph nodes can be activated. The lymphatic system, and going up through the abdominals, up through the rib cage, the diaphragm, the heart, the shoulders, the arms, the hands. It's coming back up the other side, the back side of your hands, forearm and upper arm, to the shoulders. And it's coming up through the throat, the mouth, your nose, your eyes, third eye, and crown. And before we hang out with our crown, we're going to send that golden light back down the back side of us so that we are getting the activation in the front and the back bodies. So the back of the head, the back of the throat, the ears, the neck, the shoulders, upper, mid, lower back, the glutes, the thighs, the calves, and the ankles and the heels. And that crown chakra and the upper chakras are also receiving this activation, and the energy, the light, golden creator substance light, is going to sit at your crown chakra. So it can look like a crown, it can look like an infinity sign, it can look like a ball of white light. However you relate to that, but enjoy this integration in your body as we move throughout this meditation. And you come to sit on a cliff overlooking the ocean, and you see the white light again, but it's of the sun, and it's not sunrise or sunset. It's probably around 2 in the afternoon. So you're getting a big burst of sun, and it's glimmering though on the water. You see it glimmering on the water. And the cliff isn't very high, maybe 8 to 10 feet above the beach. And it's made of shale. And it's can be a really soft rock mixed with the sand and the sea salt. And you're being invited to take a little slide down the side of this cliff that's sloped. So it's on a slope. And you can head down on the slide, just in the shale. It actually, it's weird. It kind of, it doesn't really like stick to you. And it's just fun to slide down where you were sitting. And the lion does follow. So he comes down too. And when your feet touch the beach, you're aware of your footprint in the sand. And it's not just like an impression in the sand. You actually feel the golden creator substance of light that activated in your DNA kind of bubbling up as you walk. And it feels really good. There's a bit of movement, but it's more like a soft movement of constant flowing energy that mimics the ebbing and the flowing of the tides in the ocean. So it's constantly moving up through the front and down through the back to raise you up to meet higher realms and to keep you grounded. And you're sitting, still at the end of the slide, with your feet in the sand, noticing the energy that is within you and activating and integrating. And we're going to connect with some more grounding energy with connecting to Earth's core. We connect with the crystalline core of the Earth. And from the base of your spine, see these roots come out and connect. And when you have made the connection and you see it, and your roots can be actually roots from a tree. They can take on gold. They can take on another color. Maybe it's rainbows. Maybe it's rainbow colored. Once you make that connection, a diamond appears before you. To let you know you are connected and standing, sitting, ready to move about within your power. And so you stand up and you make your way to the water's edge. It's not very far. It's probably like 10 feet. And where you had gotten off of sliding down, the sand was wet. So you were already in kind of a packed sand base. And you walk to the water's edge. And you look out onto the horizon, and you're aware of your guides that are here and the archangels that are here. And to your left is Archangel Samuel. To your right is Archangels Ariel and Raphael. Archangel Raziel is also here. He's going to be on the left side near Archangel Samuel, and he's going to help guide us with receiving this new information. So he's helping with third eye integration and with new information that's coming through. And Kuan Yin is out on the water in her beautiful robe flowing to let us know to come from compassion, to be compassionate with ourselves and others and be merciful. Very important. When melding the mind and the heart space, it's new to a lot of people. We're going to take a look behind us. And when you look behind you, okay, that cliff where you were sitting, you're going to see large words of stories, old stories that you fell into. Maybe they were shameful. Maybe they were of disempowerment. Maybe they were of trauma. Maybe they were of sadness. Maybe they were filled with anger. And Kali Ma is making an appearance now too. So she's going to help transmute these old pattern stories, energies into something upgraded. Okay, so we are being guided to take those old stories and you pick the ones that you resonate with. And you're actually going to physically, in your mind's eye, take those stories of shame, stories of anger, and you're going to release them into the ocean. And Mother Ocean's going to go ahead and help to transmute those. She can take that energy. She knows what to do with it. And Kali Ma is going to help transmute those too. Okay? And she is showing in all her glory. She's helping with the movement of them. She's saying it's hard to get those out of our head. So she's helping to move it. Okay? She's helping to get it from the past and move it into this place where it can be made into something beautiful by the ocean that is so healing. And no matter what your personal experience has been with the ocean, you're getting now the experience of her help, in the way that she knows how to help the best. And you're standing near her. Okay, so you're not inside, you're near. So you're going to take that, and we're going to do it 5 times. We're going to take that energy and put it into the ocean. We're going to offer it up. So reach back, grab the disempowerment, and you're going to give it right up into the ocean. Once you've done that 5 times, it's a little exhausting. So you're sitting at the edge, at the water's edge now, with your feet on the ground still. Your hands or arms are on your kneecaps. And Kuan Yin's tending to the transmutation to because once it's in the ocean and it's surrounded by the sea salt and the seaweed and the constant motion that the ocean is always in, it easily transmutes into upgraded energies. And the waves are still very, even though they're flowing, they're not large waves. They're easy, they're flowing. It's soft. It's a soft and easy feeling that they've been transmuted into. You're receiving ease in this. And as you sit there at the water's edge, a large triangle appears, and the base is on your chest. Okay? And the point is heading out towards Kuan Yin. And this pyramid is filled with the healing energy, the openness to receiving messages from your guides, the awareness of the energies inside of you, and also those all around you. And the idea that when we come from heart space, we can attain the compassion and the mercy for ourselves and therefore with each other. And as it's activating, it's in an electric green light. And then it's extremely large right now. And as the light fills up all sides of it, all the way to the tip, it starts to slowly come into the golden creator substance light, healing, white light, And that triangle fits into your palm, and it's going to fit into your right palm. And when you hold it in your right palm, you can give out all of the things that the pyramid embodies. And you can switch it and put it in your left hand. And you can receive all the beauty that that pyramid embodies. And you put it up in your crown, whatever your crown looks like. And you give a nod of thanks and gratitude for the assistance of the archangels, of these ascended masters. And also to yourself for showing up. And go ahead, take a nice cleansing breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Come back into this space, come back into your body, come back into this place and time. Those are your messages for a Lionsgate energy, for expansiveness, for rising, for releasing. And I thank you so much for being here. And remember to keep peeling back the layers and asking yourselves and each other, may I have this dance?